now it's time for And the Winner is Motorsports Show, a production of the ETV Live Auto Sports Entertainment Network. Get ready for 2 fun-filled hours of racing dialogue, race results, commentary from drivers, promoters, sponsors, media dignitaries, and much, much more. And now, the racing devil, Mike Neff, and the ringmaster of motorsports, Wesley Outland. This is And the Winner is Motorsports Show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Monday night, February 11th edition of And the Winner is Motorsports Show, a broadcast of ETV Live powered by the HD Radio Network. The Three Stooges are in the house again. Joining us, as always, the racing devil, Mike Neff. Mike, how you doing, dude?
I'm great. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go racing.
Racing season's here again, and also joining us, man, Marcus Morgan. What's up, dude?
I'm mad.
Man, how bad is it? Racing season, that niche, that itch, it's finally going to be scratched for a lot of people this Saturday night.
I guess.
Absolutely. And of course, I'm the ringmaster of motorsports, Wesley Outland. Welcome you to our location, the Round Table, our esteemed panel in North Carolina, Kannapolis, North Carolina, and in Indianapolis, Indiana. John Wessling running the boards for us, always does a great job. And, of course, we've also got another special guest that wants to just give a shout-out to everybody. Take a listen to this. We're really coming up in the world, Marcus. Listen to this, John.
Hi, this is 2012 Sprint Cup champion Brad Keselowski, and you're listening to
And the Winner is.
So, Mike, we're definitely being successful if we got somebody like that giving us plugs.
Dude, I had a good time on Saturday. We got a whole bunch of those bumpers that y'all are going to be hearing over the next, I don't know,
year,
6 years.
For 6 years. Yeah, a couple of good ones too. Let's take a listen to. Oh, hell, this was a pretty good one. Jeff Burton knowed how to put it down. Listen to Jeff Burton.
Hey, this is Jeff Burton, driver of the Caterpillar Chevrolet, and you're listening to And the Winner is. Hey, this is Jeff Burton, driver of the Caterpillar Chevrolet, and you're listening to And the Winner is.
2 times the charm ain't that bad.
I say, dude, you were supposed to trim that first part of it out.
I've not had any time, but anyhow, I wanted to have that for reasoning to show people that even these top NASCAR drivers even have to have a little bit of.
Well, let me put it to you this way: the top guys were pretty good. I mean, there was only a couple of instances where the Cup guys had to repeat it, but when, especially the Dillon brothers, they were struggling a little bit, as did Darrell Wallace. Darrell Wallace was having a hard time too. But in the end, they all got them knocked out. It was a good time. Had fun at the acceleration weekend this past weekend, and just fired up and ready to go racing, man.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And, of course, I'm getting race phone calls as we speak of people trying to get up with me. They'll have to call me back later. But, Marcus, man, everybody is humped. They're humped up. They are hyped up. And, yeah, I apologize, John. The volume level was a little bit too loud. I think I scared the hell out of John when I did that. But, man, what a great 2013 is here. And I think it's been for the first time there's hype for NASCAR and expectations for what is to come for Speed Week starting on Saturday with the Sprint Unlimited.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of anticipation, and let's hope they measure up, because they got one shot at this.
I think so, and according to the forecast, it's not supposed to rain any in the month of February down there.
Yeah, we'll see.
They're getting plenty of rain now.
Yeah, forecast calling for 20, 30, 50% chance of rain here the next couple of days. Tabitha says I've just jinxed it, so...
And it rains, it's Wesley's fault.
Yeah, and we might have a guest. Tabitha said she might do some talking on the radio show tonight. What she said yesterday. She really wants to talk about the pay-per-view and stuff down at East Bay. But anyhow, Mike, we've got a great show tonight, man. Me and you have gone to the talent pool, and I think we're going to definitely have a show everybody's going to enjoy this evening.
Got a couple of them for you anyway. I always like when that happens. I was telling you I had a little bit of a voicemail this morning that I didn't get it till I got up to get ready to go to work, but it actually came in at 3:38 this morning.
Yeah.
And apparently the guys that were running in the modified race at
Ocala.
North Florida.
Okay.
We're having a couple pops after the racing was over. Let's just put it that way. And, I did save the voicemail, and at some point in time, I will probably break it out when somebody needs to be embarrassed. But let's just say they they were having a good time.
You play now. We'll have a blast. We'll mess with Kyle Strickler when he calls in.
So that's where it's leading to. Kyle Strickler won the modified race at North Florida, along with I don't know if it was both nights, but at least one of the nights at Bubba Raceway, he and his team car did a 1-2 sweep. I know the second night they did. I don't remember if they did the first night or not. So he's off to a pretty good start down there in the Florida Speed Weeks. So we're going to talk to him here in just a little bit, and we'll see what he has to say.
Okay, well, anyhow, also in conjunction with Kyle Strickler, the high side tickler, being on the show, winning the 5,000 to win event at Ocala on Saturday night, and his teammate was right behind him, finishing 1-2 on Saturday evening at the Bubba Raceway Park in Ocala. Also, we're going to have on Kid Rocket, or the Rocket Man, Josh Richards out of Shinston, West Virginia. He picked up his 40th career World of Outlaw Late Model Series victory in a time where, and he's actually supposed to be calling us here in just a couple of minutes. Am I right, Mike? He's supposed to.
It's going to be about an hour. I believe it's going to be a little bit after 7 o'clock. He's going to try and give us a shout.
Okay. So I'm sorry. We're going to have Shane Clanton on first. Shane Clanton driving the number 25 Capital Race Cars entry out of Fayetteville, Georgia. The Coconut is what they call him, or Locust Grove, Georgia is where he resides, just outside of Fayetteville. But he won night number 1 of the Winter Freeze. And then on Saturday night, he finished second. Josh Richards finished first. But what I wanted to talk about was that this is a monumental moment because it's his 40th career win with the World of Outlaw Late Models. And he's just getting back into in the Rocket House car after Brandon Shepard had drove it last year, while Josh wanted to try to pursue a full-time ARCA NASCAR career, which is still up in the air, Mike.
Yes, it is.
And Marcus, we saw him at the World Finals last year, and Josh Richards, a talented race car driver, and back behind the number 1 house car, which his dad, Mark Richards, owns with Rocket Chassis.
Yeah, exciting driver to watch, no doubt.
Absolutely. I see you're going through notes. What do you got going on the tablet here?
I had a meeting the other day with a good friend of mine, and starting in April, and possibly before their season starts, we'll be able to have the winner of every Rev Oil Pro Cup race for the 2013 season.
Awesome. And, of course, we've talked about that series, Mike Neff, Jack McNeely, and with the Rev Oil Pro Cup and what he's tried to do to bring that rebirthing back to that place with that sanctioning body. A lot of people don't remember, but in its heyday when it was the Hooters Pro Cup, it used to be the Cat's Pajamas.
Well, they've come a long way to get back to where they've got an exciting race schedule this year. We'll go over that some other time, but their first race is April 6th at Dillon Motor Speedway.
Just down the road from us.
Just down the road, so we'll have to go
90 miles.
Check it out.
Absolutely. So make sure you.
Yeah, they're definitely doing some work, but I agree with you. Back when it was Hooters and even a little bit of the Jackaroo time, that series was arguably the second most popular stock car racing series in the country behind Cup. It was as good or better than Nationwide was.
Remember when it was on Thursday night as part of the Thursday night package? That was some good TV. A lot of the racers themselves thought it was awesome because they got to see it because it was on Thursday nights, and even if they raced on Friday or Saturday.
That's what impressed me. They do a race on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday. They would get into the production, put it in the can, do the voiceover, and it was ready to air, Mike Neff, on Thursday night.
Following Thursday night.
7 o'clock without delay.
Mm-hmm.
None of this waiting like a month to see the Chili Bowl. By the way, I saw the Chili Bowl Nationals on NBC Sports Network. I've got to give kudos to them. They've done an outstanding job, and I really hope that people out there will take the initiative to see how big that race is at Tulsa, Oklahoma every year, Mike Neff and Marcus.
I just don't get why they don't have a pay-per-view video feed for that race. I know I was talking to a couple guys about it this weekend, and they're like,
Yeah.
it was 4 degrees in Tulsa, and if they had had a video feed, people wouldn't have come. And I'm like, the thing is sold out. There's a waiting list to get tickets.
Yes,
I
sir.
really don't think people are not going to show up to see that race if there's a live video feed.
Think of
And
how-
I'm sitting here in North Carolina. I can't be there. I would love to see it live on video.
Hey, Marcus.
Mike brings up a good point. Should racetracks and racing series look at technology to help expand their fan base by
Well-
providing some kind of internet link?
I'll tell you one thing that Fast Track did when I first started with Fast Track, and Marcus, you were with us with the Lightning Fast Adventures. We used to do the Fast Track Radio Network, live race coverage, and they did away with it because Mike Neff promoters thought that it was hurting their car count, it was hurting their fan attendance.
Which is crazy.
Yes.
I mean, that's what you always hear from track owners and promoters.
Yes.
But there is never any proof outside of the Brickyard 400 that proves that is the case.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if they blacked out the Brickyard like they do the Indianapolis 500,
Yeah.
you'd still have 200,000 people there. But that's the only way you'll ever get that kind of crowd there again because the racing's just not good.
And
So,
real,
but it's at any other local short track, they're crazy not to put it on the internet and give you a live feed because for the 10 people that aren't going to show up because they can see it on a video feed, you're going to have 30 or 40 more that are going to go, wow, we need to go check that place out because that was an awesome race, provided they do a good job of putting on a show.
absolutely.
If they don't do a good job putting on a show, it doesn't matter if you got a video feed or not, people are going to quit coming.
Definitely. So again, Josh Richards lined up to be on the show tonight, the Rocket Man out of Shinston, West Virginia, in the Rocket Chassis house car. We're also going to have Shane Clanton, the Coconut, the last year's winner of the Dream 100, the $100,000 dirt late model Dream at Eldora. He starts off the season. And by the way, for the 10th anniversary of the World of Outlaw late models, they are pumped up and ecstatic, guys, because for the first time ever in 2 races, they have a tie, but for the championship between the drivers 1 and 2, Clanton and Richards. A tie, Mike Neff.
We're 2 races in, dude. Let's not get crazy.
I'm
speechless.
Saying, just smart ass.
I mean, I understand that's cool and all, but we're 2 races into a, what is it, 76 race season or something like that? I mean, they run a lot of races. Let's see if we got a tie in September, then we got something to talk about.
That's newsworthy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
I mean, that was like John Wood leading not John Wood.
playoffs?
John,
Talk about playoffs?
yeah, the one who won the Daytona 500 in the trucks last year, or Daytona truck race last year.
Yeah, John Wood, and I know him. He used to run Fast Track.
He's leading after the second week of the trucks last year, and yeah, God bless him, but it was the second week. If he'd still been leading in September, we'd have had something to talk about.
You know what? They're so mean. It's not their credit.
Yeah, I give him credit for. I mean, winning a Daytona race was phenomenal for him,
And
I thought it was a great story. I thought it really sucked that Red Horse didn't stick with him the whole year.
yeah,
But I mean, you can't get.
that he won the biggest paying race, the Daytona, and then less than 2 months later, they're bankrupt. Team Red Horse Racing's bankrupt. They go out of business.
Well, his team of the Red Horse ones, yeah. But they just, I don't know, it stunk, but at the same time, you can't get, I mean, that's like people that somebody wrecks at Daytona, goes to Vegas, and finishes 30th, and people are saying they're done, they're not going to win a championship. It's a little early. You got to kind of temper things and realize that 2 races might be a trend, but it's not the...
And I think we're going to see a lot of that right off the bat because of the new cars. I think we're going to see some teams that people have such high expectation, and there's going to be something that happens, I think.
Yep, I agree. And there's also going to be, I think at least twice this year, if not 3 times this year, a team's going to hit on something.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, like when Roush had the car crabbing,
Right.
and DEI did a lot of dimpling under the cars to help the aero stuff out back in the day. you're going to have teams that are going to figure something out, and they're going to go on a tear for 5 or 6 races before everybody else catches up. And then somebody else is going to do it. It's going to happen 2 or 3 times this year. But in the end, by the time we get down to the final 10, I hope it's going to be a battle, and I hope we're actually going to see slingshot passes again. That's the one thing I would love to see.
Would love to see that too, and I can't wait to see who can dominate the mile and a halves, because whoever gets a handle on the mile and a halves with this new car is going to win the championship.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why Jimmy Johnson's been winning, because he's good on intermediates,
now,
and there's 6 of them in the chase.
Yeah, everybody's on a level playing field now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So let's see who comes out of the box hot.
So we're rambling. But anyhow, tonight's guests include Kid Rocket or Rocket Man Josh Richards, 40th career World of Outlaw late models victory. Shane Clanton, the Coconut out of Fayetteville, Georgia. They won Friday and Saturday night in the World of Outlaw late models season opener at Winter Freeze 3 at Screven Motorsports Complex in Georgia. We're also going to have on Wayne Perry from East Carolina Motor Speedway and the Perry Auto Group. That track is back open. It's back in business. We're also going to talk about NASCAR, the Sprint Unlimited this weekend, and also we're going to have on Kyle Strickler. So and at 7:30, we are going to talk Arena Racing USA. Now, Mike Neff, I don't know if you ever followed those guys,
Dude.
but I love Arena Racing USA.
Won the very first Arena Championship.
What?
Randy Burnett and his dad won the very first championship. I worked on their crew in Charlotte.
So we all know how popular
and Nick Hoffman won it the second year.
Yes, that's how I know of Arena Racing and Nick Hoffman before he even got in a modified.
Yep.
It was awesome in Arena Racing cars.
He was doing backflips off the car after he'd win.
Yes, exactly right.
Like he still does.
Definitely. So Josh Richards, Shane Clanton, Wayne Perry, Kyle Strickler, and Ricky Dennis and Mark Potter with Arena Racing USA coming up here for a great night. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get Kyle Strickler on the high side tickler, and we're going to have on Josh Richards and Shane Clanton on at the same time. So when Josh Richards calls, we're going to give Shane Clanton a call also, so that's going to be pretty good.
Cool.
Marcus, man, I'll tell you what, we're going to go into break number. I got everything, any and everything to talk about. NASCAR, short track, dirt track, and even arena cars inside an arena.
You got a full notebook. That's good.
Absolutely. We try to do that every night. Want to send some shout-outs to people, the Big Brothers, Michael and Brandon Vick, you crazy rascals at Rocky Mount. They're tuning in. Appreciate you. Thank you for the prank call, by the way, Michael. I was about to embark on a Friday night, Mike Neff, at 11:30 at night to somewhere in Surf City to try to find Michael, and come to find out it was all a hoax. But anyhow...
is he telling you he was stranded on the side of the road or something?
No, it was honey, what was it? He said something to his girlfriend? Yeah, he said something out of line to his girlfriend that he shouldn't have, and she got mad and left him on the side of the road.
But at least he wasn't calling from the Philippines.
That's not...
Yeah, or France.
Did you get that email, Mike?
No, I've had multiple emails like that from supposed friends of mine that are stranded in France and don't have any money, and they're in jail, and blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
And I send them a text message, and I'm like, dude, don't send me this crap. And they're like, I'm not sending you crap. What are you talking about? I'm like, according to your email, you're in France. Nope, still sitting in St. Louis. Don't worry about it. Okay.
If you were in France, I wouldn't help you anyway.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, got nothing I can do for you.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Wayne Perry at East Carolina Motor Speedway and then Kyle Strickler. Hang in with us. It is February the 11th. And happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. The week of love, as they say.
Wish your sweethearts a happy Valentine's Day.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day to the wives and the girlfriends and the significant others and the friends with benefits and all sorts of stuff. So, anyhow, when we take a break, we'll come back.
Friends with benefits?
What the
hell are you talking about?
I'm just messing, guys. No, I do not.
We opened the Pandora's box on that one.
When we come back, we're going to have on Kyle Strickler. Don't go anywhere. And the winner is on the air on ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network. And remember, replays are on Friday from 1 to 3 in case you missed this great entertainment. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, conveniently located off of intersection I-81 and I-77 in Wytheville, Virginia. Services all of Southwest Virginia in residential, farms, recreational, and commercial properties. The company is owned by Jason and Judy Short. Judy has been in the real estate market for over 15 years and is the broker of Shortway Real Estate. And they have two of the top agents in Southwest Virginia. Their goal is simple: to provide the best customer service and build business on repeat clients. You can get pre-approvals in less than 20 minutes. They have many properties located on over 300 websites nationwide. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for customer service guaranteed. And guess what? Licensed in Virginia, they can show you any property listed in the Commonwealth state. They're located at 1205 East Main Street in Wytheville, Virginia. For more details, call 276-223-4018. That's 276-223-4018. Shortway Real Estate Incorporated, reminding you, take the short way home.
ETV Live, always pushing the bar just a little bit further, is proud to introduce ETV Live Radio, supported by the HD Radio Network. ETV Live Radio features classic rock every hour, every day. You can also catch live events such as Race Day broadcast right from the booth. Open Paddock Live at 9:30 p.m. Tuesday nights. The Pit Report on Friday nights at 7 p.m. ETV Live Radio featured in the sports section of iTunes. Get the mobile app from TuneIn.com and look for us on Windows Media Guide. ETV Live Radio on the HD Radio Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to And the Winner Is on the ETV Radio Network, powered by HD Radio.
You reached Kyle Strickler.
I am.
Leave a message.
Mike Neff, the racing devil.
Hey, text Kyle Strickler and tell him to answer his damn phone.
And he, in case you weren't aware of that, is the grumpy ringmaster of motorsports, Wesley Outland.
Yeah. I'm the grumpy.
Along with the grumpy madman of motorsports, Marcus Morgan.
And here,
glad to be here for you on the February 11th, 2013 version of And the Winner Is. Trying to get Kyle Strickler to answer the phone and tell us all about his big $5,000 win.
And you're listening.
well, I was trying to do another bumper. I said, and even Elliott Sadler tunes in also. So. Anyhow, Kyle Strickler, we just tried to call him and got nowhere, so we'll try to. Mike Neff is now going to put out an APB on him, and we'll get him lined up. But man, Kyle Strickler, I'm telling you what, guys, I don't think modified racing gets its real credit that it should. At least not in the South.
Yeah, I was going to say in the North it does.
Right.
Especially Midwest. I mean, dirt modifieds in the North is big blocks, but in the Midwest is just UMP style, IMSA style, and it's big. But you get it down in the South, it's gaining a foothold. I think the more and more people realize that it's more economical than racing late models, I think you're going to see it get bigger and bigger.
Right. What do you think, Marcus Morgan?
I have to agree with Mike. I think that, the South has been a late model hotbed, for many, many years, and I think that the economy is going to force people to look at the modifieds.
My take on it is about the same. I believe that the late models are very popular in the southern area. I think modifieds are starting to make themselves in being a landmark or a force to be reckoned with, but the modifieds, it seems to me like it's that fine line between affordability and entertainment. Mm-hmm. The cars have just got so expensive, and it doesn't matter whether it's a dirt late model or a super late model on asphalt or a modified car, whether it's asphalt or dirt. These modified cars, sadly, have got to be as expensive or even more than what a super late model car is, Mike.
I mean, on an asphalt modified maybe, but I don't believe so on the dirt modifieds. Again, I could be wrong because I've never bought one or really priced one out, but I believe you can get Hoffman's new Elite chassis for like $9,000, if I'm not mistaken. And then you get a motor for 12. You're running for just over 20 grand.
Right.
Yeah, for
Where
25 you can run a modified, which is
and you
you can,
I mean a crate late model. Crate late model, you might be able to pull it off for 25 grand.
Well, we're not talking about. We are not talking about. We're not talking about a super late model motor. Or
you get into supers and even late models. I mean, a built late model motor is 20 grand these days.
I'm not talking about a crate motor is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
The crate motors are automatically already stability in there to be affordable for everybody. I'm talking about guys like Ken Schrader and Kenny Wallace and Bart Hartman and Two Brothers Motorsports and Kyle Strickler and Nick Hoffman that spend almost $30,000 or $40,000 in motors. In shocks, suspensions, and it's got to the point where it's become expensive to even run a modified as it is a super late model.
But again, I haven't priced one of those out. We'll have to ask Strickler that when he gets on.
Yeah.
How much he's got into his motor that he's running in that thing.
I think even if the motor is at the same price point, I think that you're looking at a bit difference in some of the other areas.
Absolutely.
Such as chassis and some of the the support pieces that go along with that.
Have you heard any word from him yet?
He has not responded to my text message at this point in time.
Absolutely. Well, if we don't find him, we're going to put out APB for him, which is actually already being done. So we're trying to look.
As part of his voicemail to me earlier was that he was exploring a new lifestyle, so he may be out at a bar or something. You never know.
I'm not even going any further with that.
Just saying.
What?
Be careful what voicemail messages you leave people at 3:30 in the morning, or you could just get bit in the rear end.
This just in. Next Monday night, exclusive interview with Corey Latham with Race22.com on everything's going on with Abraham Wozlowski at Ace Speedway.
Good old Abraham.
That could be exciting.
He might be selling it finally.
He might be doing something because the checks that he wrote for the freaking point fund last year all bounced.
I know that's what that's what's being investigated right now. And he said that he assures everybody if you're tuned in and you race at Ace Speedway last year, he apologizes.
Oh yeah.
And absolutely he will have it right with the bank accounts. And there was just a little mix up. Everybody just bear with him and he'll fix it. That's all I know.
That's just
the messenger is what you're saying.
I would buy it if the checks didn't have his signature on them.
Yeah.
But the fact, and again, depending on the checks you have, you can have them like pre-printed or when they run through a machine, it prints it on there. But from what I understand and what I've read, the people that got checks at the banquet, they were physically signed by Abraham, and yet he forgot to put the money in the bank. I don't understand how that happens.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that Abraham was actually present at the awards banquet?
No. I didn't say he was present at the banquet.
Right.
But he physically signed the checks. It wasn't that they were computer generated and it had a computer generated signature. It wasn't somebody else in his organization that had signed the checks. His name was on the checks. He wrote them himself, and yet forgot to put the money in the bank.
Absolutely. So,
I don't fully understand how that happened.
What? Have we heard anything from Kyle Strickler? Because this is strike 3.
Sweet.
Goodness. Let's try to call him one more time.
That makes me mad.
Let's try to call him one more time.
Mad man.
Doesn't answer, then he's done.
Done. I like how you say that. You're
for another week until he wins some more at the Evolution deal.
Bump him to the back. Let's move somebody to the front.
Everybody stand by. We're going to try to, we're going to call this gentleman. You might hear a little ringtone, but we're trying to connect with Kyle Strickler.
A ringtone?
A
ringy-dingy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ring.
2 ringy-dingies?
Just don't talk because
3 ringy-dingies?
Trying to connect Kyle Strickler. Last.
So the Pope retired. I'm trying to figure out how that deal works.
You have reached Kyle Strickler.
Kyle Strickler
Kyle
has decided to try out his new lifestyle.
Yeah, he's test driving his new.
Is it Scorpios?
Hey, Kyle, have one on us, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Let us know how it is.
I'm very upset. This is not like Kyle Strickler to stand us up, Mike.
You should have your guests.
It is. It's very unlike him. But as I said,
Oh yeah, now Kyle Strickler.
he may be trying out some new lifestyle choices.
But you are going to Daytona, though, you lucky rascal. Tell everybody about it.
I am looking forward to it. Rolling out of town Friday evening after work.
You suck.
Headed down to Daytona, cover the ARCA race, the Sprint Unlimited, whatever that's all about. Daytona qualifying, hopefully get over to Volusia on Sunday night. Then Monday evening is the Battle at the Beach late model race. Tuesday evening is the Battle at the Beach modified and K&N races. So that is my agenda. Monday night, for the first half of the And the Winner Is show, we will hopefully be able to be live at the track talking. I don't know about if we'll get a chance to talk to anybody, but we will try. And if not, we'll at least record some stuff that we can have on later. And just looking forward to it. It's going to be cool. I've never been to Volusia, so I'm pretty excited about that. I wish I could get over there for the big modified night when they run for the Gator, but unfortunately they're running 7 and 9 o'clock at the big track on that night. So
Now, let me understand. So the late model stocks are running on Monday night at Daytona.
yes.
And then of course, the K&N East Series, which is like their super late model type.
Well, East and West. It's a combined race.
Right. And this is basically what the old Toyota All-Star Showdown used to be at Irwindale.
Something like that.
You're right. Kind of, all the regions come together.
All the regions come together.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that there's only 22 late model cars on the entry list running so far.
I don't know. I haven't checked it, and that's something that I'm curious about. And I hopefully will get the opportunity to talk to Joey Chitwood when I am down there, because I mentioned it to him during the media tour that I personally had talked to people that have late models that would have gone down but did not realize that if they weren't locked in, they still had a way to race into the show.
Right.
And he claims that they communicated to all of the tracks that the drivers could do that, which you and I have dealt with track promoters before, and you've seen guys that don't update their websites for months on end.
Right.
So you know how they are about handling information.
Absolutely.
So my guess is they probably should have done a more proactive effort at communicating with the drivers themselves. But I'm going to be curious. I want to see how many people are down there and talk to people and find out how many guys realized that they could race their way in if they weren't already locked in.
How many show up down there, right? So
Right, exactly. Because the thought process was that it would not only be a benefit for the drivers coming to Daytona, but it would also prompt some more guys to show up at New Smyrna. Because New Smyrna is not running late models on Monday, so that the drivers could come over to the big track, but might go to New Smyrna for a couple other ones. So it was hopefully going to be a benefit to both places.
I hate to be bad.
I think it was just a lack of communication this first time around.
Yeah.
I think when they see it live on television, and hopefully during the TV broadcast, it will be pointed out that guys have the opportunity to race their way in, that in 2014 it'll be an even bigger, better show.
And by the way, can I say something? I received
It's your show.
I received an email via NASCAR, and this is just all screwed up. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not saying anything bad about the series or whatever, but
just spit it out.
It says comprehensive coverage set for the UNOH Battle of the Beach, and it's saying that Speed Channel and MRN has now got full broadcast rights. What the hell? They already do the big. I mean, MRN and they're taking over everything. If you go to MRN's website, they've got dirt now. They're doing late models on dirt. They're doing sprint cars. They're doing the Grand Am series. The Rolex 24. They're doing the entire Rolex sports car series. They have shows throughout the week about weekly racing. Now to top it off, no, we're not going to give another local radio network or any somebody like us that wants to go down there and broadcast. No, we're going to take over full rights, and nobody's going to have a shot to do anything.
I mean, I'm sure. And again, I don't know. That's something that I'll try to get an answer on when I go down there.
I think that's live broadcast rights. I do not think that's recorded with permission.
Do what now?
Yeah, I mean, you can record anything you want, but I'm willing to bet.
Saying the Speed Channel and MRN have the rights to do the live race coverage.
Because they probably paid for it.
Probably paid for it, sure.
Well,
big money.
I mean, I didn't see that they had a bidding war or gave anybody else an option to bid on it.
Right, I didn't see anything about it.
But I'm willing to bet you that having the opportunity to have Mike Joy and Larry McReynolds call the modified race and Rick Allen and Phil Parsons call the K&N race is more intriguing to NASCAR than having Wesley Outland and Mike Neff call.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So it's a economy of scale kind of thing, which is why you see ARCA races on Speed when they're companion events, but you don't see ARCA races on Speed if they're standalone events, because the equipment is already at the track. MRN's already there, Speed's already there because they're covering practice, they're covering qualifying, they're covering the sprint stuff. So all the equipment and the people are already there.
Right.
So it's not a stretch for them to be able to say, yeah, we'll give you $5,000 to cover, to be your broadcast partner, where you and I would really be taxed to try to come up and be able to do a broadcast like that for the kind of money that they're paying for the rights.
In my opinion, that's BS. That is what's wrong with the integrity of the sport. So many people are so corrupted and caught up in the money game.
Wesley, it's a business.
I understand.
Exactly, it's a business.
It's a business.
That's how they make their money.
I understand that it's a business wholeheartedly. I understand that. But damn it, give the other people that are trying to make a name for theirself and to climb up the ladder a chance to show what they can do. That's like that guy, Joe Cross, who won the Battle of the Beach announcer contest for Daytona for this event. Do you know what they're really going to have that guy doing? All the effort, all the work, and we're going to have Joe Cross on here probably next week or two because I actually talked to him the other day on Facebook. After all of that work and effort that he put into it, and him being thinked in his head that he was going to be the announcer for the event, for the race, he's just doing the PA internet broadcast of practice. That's it. Now, you want to talk about filling somebody's head with dreams and aspirations and then get shot down like it's nothing, in my opinion, that's wrong. I'm sorry. But these big names have come in, and look, I've got no problem with Mike Joy or Larry McReynolds or any of these big wheels that are big-time announcers. They've worked at the bottom. They've made their way to the top. But damn it, for an event of this caliber, they should give somebody at the bottom trying to make a career for themselves a chance to do it instead of them coming and taking it away.
You got to get in there and fight to get it. I mean, it's a competition. It's very competitive, and there's a lot of politics involved. And
it's a kiss. Oh, absolutely.
There's no doubt about it that you can build relationships to give you those opportunities that you don't have the monetary means to do so, but you've got to work hard at it, right, Mike?
Yeah, and you got to put the time in. I mean, we talked to Ralph Shaheen a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was talking about going and calling races for nothing whenever he could. And unfortunately, that's where you get your foot in the door. And, you always hear it. It's the same with musical acts.
Sure.
They're an overnight sensation. Well, yeah, but they were working at it for 14 years before they finally got their break.
Yeah.
It's not something where you get, you just show up and it starts happening. I mean, I've been writing about NASCAR for 8 years now, and I'm just now to a point where, the people that run the press conferences at the track know my name on the very first question that I ask. And when I see drivers, not some of the bigger guys, obviously, but some of the lower tier guys know me by name and, are willing to carry on a conversation with me because I've put in my time and I've worked I've worked at it.
Absolutely.
And so the same thing happens with the announcement. But I understand where you're coming from, and it would have been cool.
I hope you do.
If NASCAR had taken this opportunity to let Xsan or, I don't know. I don't really want to see Speed 51 do it, but maybe Race 22 get a shot at broadcasting the race just to give it a chance. But the problem is,
or ETV Live Network, ETV Radio.
The audio or the video feed of it, trying to do it as a television production, is a very expensive proposition.
We got to close this. We got to go to break. Go ahead, Marcus. Close it.
I want you guys to wrap your mind around this. Yeah, there are multiple media opportunities. Okay, it's not just television. It's not just radio. There's internet. Okay, there's pay-per-view. There's all of these other opportunities, and in order to be able to have a way in, you've got to pick and choose something out of the box that not everybody's doing in order to work your way in that direction.
I agree. Subject change. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Wayne Perry at East Carolina Motor Speedway, a local grassroots racetrack, rebirthing. And again, we could talk about this subject forever, but in closing, I do want to promote it. Daytona, short track racing, grassroots, Battle of the Beach. Mike Neff will be there. I tried everything in my power to get credentials, and it just didn't work out. So, Mike, have a safe trip. Have a great time. But I will be at East Bay beginning tomorrow. I'm going back to East Bay Raceway Park in Tampa, Florida. And from there on, I will be on the way to Volusia Speedway Park for doing some stuff as well from the, let's see, I want to say it's Thursday the 21st to the 23rd, or the 22nd to the 23rd. So we're going to definitely have And the Winner is Motorsports Show, whether covering asphalt at Daytona like Mike Neff will, and New Smyrna, or dirt as I will for And the Winner is.
And Mike, I have an answer for your Sprint Unlimited. It's a promotion of Sprint's Unlimited talk, text, and web marketing platform. That's where the Unlimited comes from.
Well, I think it's stupid. It's all about the.
I understand that it's. I like the fact that they give the fans a voice and stuff like this, but it'd be different if it was like a wide open thing. Right. They give you like 3 options and you get to pick one.
Absolutely.
Right. They already know pretty much what's going to happen. That's like when they have the fans vote for the All-Star race at what the invert was going to be. You knew they were going to invert the max number, but they didn't even have to have a vote.
Absolutely. So Kyle Strickler stood us up. No deal. Same old song and dance. We'll find out what's going on with him.
Points for him.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have on Wayne Perry with East Carolina Motor Speedway. Coming up in the second hour, we're going to have on Josh Richards and Shane Clanton together, World of Outlaw Late Model Series drivers. They both won their respective races. Clanton won Friday night, Richards won Saturday, and they are tied for the championship for the first 2 races of the year the World of Outlaw Late Model Series in our 10th anniversary. And I don't know why the hell Mike Neff finds that funny.
Because you were just really pushing this. They're tied for the thing. There's been 2 races. They finished first and second in alternating positions.
When we come back, Wayne Perry with East Carolina Motor Speedway. It is one of those nights. Is it a full moon? No, it's And the Winner is Motorsports Show on ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network. Thank you to J.D. Webb, John Wesley, and Phil Fultz. Doing a great job as always, and we'll be right back right after this break.
Coming to ATV Live Super Speedway Cup Series brings some new and exciting racing entertainment on Friday night. In shootout style, drivers compete in hot lap heat races to qualify for the feature event. Drivers running 3 heat races, then on to the Dash for Cash 15-lap showdown, and then ramp it up as they move on to the B main and A main feature events. Word has it they give the flagmen the night off, so no cautions, cowboy. Buckle in and sit back and hold on tight. You're in for a night of fun racing entertainment once again, brought to you live by ETV Live, your online autosports entertainment network, etv-eplay.net.
Owens, Moyer, Burkoffer, Mars, and Davenport all get dirty with FK.
Jimmy Owens wins!
FK Rod Ends is a family-owned American manufacturing company supporting the racing world for 25 years, as their rod ends have helped some of the nation's best dirt late model drivers find victory lane too many times to count.
Lucas Oil late model nationals champion Billy Moyer.
Dedicated to quality, FK is your answer in the rod end game. So why wait? Get dirty with FK.
For more details, go online to www.fkrodians.com. FK Rod Ends sponsors all broadcasts on the Fast Track Radio Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ETV Live presentation of And the Winner Is for 2/11/2013. I am Mike Neff, the Racing Devil. He is Marcus Morgan, the madman of motorsports. And trying to connect on the phone is the ringmaster of motorsports, Wesley Outland.
Absolutely, and on the line with us right now, we have got Mr. Wayne Perry from East Carolina Motor Speedway, and Wayne Perry is with the Perry Auto Group located in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, celebrating over 96 years of car dealership heritage, but also back in rebirthing the 3/8 mile track in Robertsonville, North Carolina, known as East Carolina Motor Speedway. Wayne Perry, great to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you very much, Wesley. I appreciate that. Been looking forward to talk with you.
Absolutely. So, guys, the big news after promoter, and after many, shyster deals and just tough things that is not only going on at Ace Speedway that we talked about, but by the way, just want to let everybody know I've got an exclusive when I come back from Florida next Monday night. Corey Latham with Race22.com is going to give us the inside scoop on everything going on with the whole Brad Allen, Abraham Woloski deal, because supposedly, Marcus, what they're saying, the way things went down, is not actually the way it went down. So there's two sides to every truth, in my opinion.
No, there's three sides.
Three sides.
His,
theirs, and the truth.
Exactly,
right.
Absolutely. So, but Wayne Perry, man, I know you've been after promoter after promoter after crook, it seems, but it seems like, if you want something done, you need to do it yourself. And as the owner of the property, it looks like you're ready to bring that place back from resurrection.
We're going to bring it back to life again. We're going to try to build a good car count. We're going to try to put spectators back in the grandstands, and we're going to put the first impressions are lasting.
Yeah.
And that's what I have built my reputation on. And I don't want to see a tombstone in front of this place. I want to see it making noise and hearing a lot of fans rooting for the drivers, and I want to see drivers having fun and affordable fun at this racetrack.
And by the way, before we go any further, Mike, Neff, and Marcus, I get Wayne Perry on the line from East Carolina Motor Speedway and the Winter Is Motorsports Show. If you'd like to call in on this subject, because we did hint out there to the East Carolina folks, if you did want to call in and ask questions, 317-489-9388. That is the number. But another racetrack that I want everybody to have prayer for is a racetrack that I've announced up in the north, and that's Kalamazoo Speedway.
Amen, brother. Amen.
I've had the privilege to announce races up there up north before with the ISMA Super Modifieds, a super great racetrack. But Mike Neff, they are being thrown under the bus by the town, by the community, by anybody in its path, and that everybody needs to stand behind that racetrack and with them, what they're trying to do.
I'm with you, brother. I just read about that today myself, that the town council is trying to pass some stuff that's basically going to hamstring them so bad that they're not going to be able to operate anymore, I don't believe.
Absolutely.
And that's where people need to come out and support their local racetracks so that we can push back on this stuff that's trying to close these racetracks down.
Super nice racetrack in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It is, if you've never seen it before, it is a nice facility, awesome racing. I remember going up there with the ISMA Super Modified cars, and my first time ever being there, I was just astounded with just the performance of this great place. But Wayne Perry, I guess tying in that concern is what's going on with Kalamazoo kind of matches what's going on with East Carolina. Why is it that the community, fans, the towns, some of the memberships of the council board, they don't stand behind local short track racing anymore?
Well, the folks over around East Carolina, Wesley, the Martin County Tourism Board has actually come to me and offered assistance to help us put this thing back underway. They have stepped up. They've actually pledged some money for it. The town of Greenville, they want to see East Carolina Motor Speedway live on, and the people of Williamston, North Carolina, the people of Kinston, Little Washington, they're just really pushing down behind us. They want to see this thing come back to life, and we're looking to have as many folks as we can in there, and we want to put on a great show. But to put on that great show, we've got to have drivers and race cars, and we need the things in the stands.
Well, when you say you need drivers, I see that you've got your first meeting for drivers scheduled for Saturday, February 16th. Tell us what your drivers can expect when they come to that meeting.
They can expect
Go ahead.
They can expect us to have the rules for the season. They can expect to meet some of the new directors. They can expect us to show a new face on East Carolina Motor Speedway.
And that's the thing. We have been, and Mike Neff, you've done this with your reporting also. We have been through track after track, promoter after promoter, shyster after shyster, the word that I still think in my head, because, listen, the bottom line is this, and I said this with Wayne Perry on a very long conversation that we had, and it looks like it might lead to me doing a lot more things with that racetrack than just doing this interview tonight. I want to see East Carolina make it. I was down there with the incidents with the other promoters, and, it broke my heart when drivers going in the economy the way it is, paid what money they had to pay for fuel, tires, whatever, to race, to have fun, and they're expecting in return to be paid for their entertainment, and they don't get paid. They get treated like they're under the bus, like they're nothing. And it broke my heart. East Carolina Motor Speedway, listeners, has a very special place in my heart to local short track racing. And Wayne, I think it's just it's great that you see that, you still see the potential there to want to keep something like that going, because Mike and Marcus, track after track is closing or being shut down.
It's tough out there. It really is. This economy, you've got the environmental push, that's going on. You've got neighborhoods that have built up around tracks where they're trying to, ungrandfather those tracks, so to speak.
And that's what's going on with Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. You know what? Damn it, the racetrack was there first.
That's right.
If you don't like it, then why did you move there?
Look at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, why do you think your house was so cheap?
Exactly. Now,
that's like people that moved in by O'Hare Airport in Chicago and bitch that the planes are loud. The world's business airport was there first. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's common sense. Wayne Perry,
Orlando Speed World.
Orlando Speed World. Look at how beautiful that racetrack was, and now it's sitting there as it's a riding duck, so to speak. I mean, it's in Orlando near Donald Duck's World, so I just wanted to throw that out there, a riding duck. But or sitting ducks.
Sitting ducks.
Maybe that sounds better. But Wayne Perry on the line with East Carolina Motor Speedway. Wayne, what is your plans for this year, buddy? Are we just going to see the local, grassroots racing program, or are we going to see things develop and bring in touring races? What is your plans to try to get the place back going again?
We are going to have some touring groups that'll be coming in. We're looking to bring the legends in, and we have a modified class that we're going to be bringing in.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you something else too. If you're listening, there was a discussion about the late model program, and it's not going to be a limited late model. It's not going to be the late model stocks, which is the 4-barrel carburetors to Hollies like you see at Martinsville or Kinley or Myrtle Beach. Which honestly, Mike, let's just be honest. The last couple of races, they've ended up running crate motors too for a late model stock, but it's going to be a late model stock program, the late model stocks class at East Carolina. Talk about what that will be, Wayne.
Well, Wesley, we're gonna bring, if somebody shows up with a late model stock car that's a true late model, we're gonna fix for those people to race with a carburetor or weight.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So you either have to have a carburetor or have a weight rule to try to make it fair for everybody.
Exactly. We're going to try to keep everything kind of close-knit. Southern National Raceway Park, about 70 miles away. We are going to kind of shadow their rules at our track so people can run at either track.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to hear that, because I think that's the key to survival for a lot of these small tracks in our part of the country. Don't you think, Mike?
Oh yeah, I can never understand.
They want to try to
why they can't all get together. And
exactly.
Same with their schedules. Yeah, work your schedules around each other so you're not butting heads on big nights or double feature nights or anything.
Absolutely.
We're just. We want to survive, and we want the rest of the people to survive.
Definitely. Absolutely. And you know what? And I commend you for that, Wayne, because there's so many racetracks you go to and promoters. And in this day and age, with the way the economy is, you need to work together. You need to work together. Everybody wants to chomp at the bit, and they want to fight over this car. They want to fight over this driver. And the next thing you know, you got half-empty seats. You've got a half-empty car count because of a promoter's stupidity of wanting to have a pissing match with another promoter, and eventually somebody gets shut down. Everybody's never going to win. Nobody will never win. When these promoters battle one another, Marcus and Mike, you're going to eventually, somebody's going to go under. It's just going to find out who's got the more money than the other guy does.
It's the fans that end up
Ronnie Barnett, and I know both of you are familiar with Ronnie. I was talking with him this past week, and he said, one thing we've got to do at our racetrack, we've got to make sure everybody can race.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
And there's one thing that is going to be a very, very grinding policy. If we guarantee you a purse, you're going to be paid before you leave that racetrack.
I think that's very important, too, because people are tired of that check bouncing.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do tell people we're going to do.
Absolutely.
You don't survive in the car business for 96 years if you don't do what you say you're going to do.
Right. That's right.
And can I say something also? You guys...
I wish you would.
You guys have struggled big time. And it's going to be a hard road to come back with everything that's happened with that racetrack. Why I don't know. So many people say, well, he just needs to give it up, or why don't he give it up? I disagree. I disagree because I think that any time
like at a you know, let me just use a simplistic example of a restaurant that's owned by the same person, but management has done a poor job and scares customers off, and then management changes. Customers come back and give that restaurant a second chance. I think if you do it right and you market it correctly, you will bring back those fans to the stands.
You're going to have to put the time in. I mean, you can't just open the doors and put a new sign out front and everybody will come running back. But if you put on a good show, you run it efficiently, you don't waste a lot of time, you have good food, you have reasonable prices, and you have clean bathrooms, you'll get people back in the stands.
Right. Absolutely. Guys, just want to give an update of what's going on at the 37th Annual East Bay Winter Nationals, the opening night for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and I'll be traveling down there to finish out the rest of the week with there tomorrow. The one-man band, Dennis Erb Jr. in the 28 car right now, the fast qualifier with a 14.309. Actually, it's a 14.173. 14.173. Chad Hollenbach, the Kentucky Colonel, Steve Francis, Austin Hubbard, Bobby Pierce, and the California kid, Tyler Reddick is your top 5. J.R. Carrier, Donnie Moran, the $1 Million Man, and the Avalanche, John Blankenship, rounds out the top 10. Just want to give you some updates of that. And by the way, you can go to xn.tv, and you can see pay-per-view coverage of the Lucas Oil.
Scott Bloomquist fastest in Group A at 14.441.
Yes, yeah. So definitely picking up speed, and just want to just give you some of the information there going out. And they got a great car count at East Bay. Looking forward to going down there tomorrow night.
Wayne, I just want to touch on some of your admission prices. I think it's fantastic that you guys get $10 for adults and $5 for children, and 5 and under's free. I think that's going in the right direction.
Well, we're trying to keep it affordable, Marcus. You got to let the people kind of live there, because $15 is much money. Right.
Absolutely, and his phone signal was breaking in there just a little bit. Sorry about that, but
that's okay.
But media-wise, social networks, Facebook. You're going to have Twitter, obviously. Going to get a new website built, Wayne.
We are. I've got a gentleman in Michigan putting a website together right now. My IT person for Perry Motor Company is heading this up, and it will be East Carolina Motor Speedway.com. And we'll be on Twitter. We'll be on Facebook.
Well, tell us a little bit about Perry Auto Group. You know, with the Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep, you know, dealerships that you have, because that's what's really putting this back together, right?
Well, it's behind it. We have been racing since 1950. We had drivers drive us such as Joe Weatherly, Bonnie and Bonnie Flock, Ray Platt, Joe Jernigan, all names that drove for us. One of my recent drivers was James Bray, Trinkalo. Bubba Adams was a very, very good driver. Won a lot of races for me. And my son Chris Perry, when he got in the car, he mastered it. And we've been racing up until about this past 2005. And my son contracted Crohn's disease and wasn't able to really run the shows like he wanted to, so we just kind of laid back. But I'm looking forward to getting this racetrack back open. I invite anybody that will come. We look forward to having you, and we're going to show you a good time, and we're going to fix you to take some money home with you.
That sounds awesome.
Absolutely. Guys, I guess we're having an echo issue. I don't understand where it's coming from. I mean, that's perfect on my end. Mike, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. I get a little distortion every now and then, but not bad.
I think, Wesley, it could be my cell phone. I'm sorry.
The production side is saying they're getting a bad echo, but if it is, we apologize for that. I don't understand it, but anyhow, you can contact. Again, be there on Saturday at East Carolina Motor Speedway in Robertsonville. There is going to be a State of the Union type meeting, State of the Union address with that racetrack and what the plans are. Definitely, I encourage everybody to attend. I could say there's been a lot of growing pains, there's been a lot of problems, heartache with that racetrack, but if you want to see a track prosper and make it, stand behind Wayne Perry and what he's got, because it's like I told Tracy Brickhouse, who's the announcer up there, a female announcer at East Carolina, everything rests on Wayne Perry now, and he's the owner. He's the main man. So if something don't work out, then it's on him. But I gotta say, I commend you, Wayne, for taking the time and having the effort to want to keep this place going back again.
Well, thank you very much, and I look forward, Wesley, to see you come up and visit with us, and who knows, maybe we can put something together.
Absolutely. I will let know if there's anybody listening. I am supposed to meet with Wayne Perry sometime next week, and we are supposed to sit down. There might be possibly some more stuff working with him on the racetrack in more of I guess management or helping out with the operations side. I've had a lot of people tell me they think I do a good job at that. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll see. But I think the number one thing we got to have, Wayne Perry, is we got to have support. We got to have support from the drivers and most of all the fans. And when we can, put on a good racing program, then from there things will definitely get better.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely, Wayne Perry. Again, when is the season going to get started? I just received a text message from somebody. They're listening in. When are you planning on starting the 2013 season at East Carolina?
We're going to start on Sunday afternoon, August 14th, and then we move to August the 20th. That'll be our first Saturday night race. Okay, so you're actually going to run. That was a joke, right? Did you mean August? You mean April? Did you mean April? I'm sorry. April 14th. That's why you're laughing at me. I'm sorry. But it's April 14th,
right? On
Sunday afternoon. That'll be the first opener, and then we go to Saturday night on April 20th.
Okay, so mark it on your calendar. It'll be a Sunday afternoon event on April the 14th, and then of course the next event will be on April the 20th.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Definitely. All right. Well, listen, everybody contact the racetrack if you have any information you want to. Is the number still 252-795-7368?
No, they can actually contact me on my cell phone at 252.
Okay.
619-5026, or they can call me at 1-800-897-PERRY.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. And Wayne Perry, it was an honor having you on the show tonight. Mike, Marcus, you got anything for Wayne before we let him go?
Just one more time on that the phone number so people can call you in.
All right. It's 252-619-5026 or 1-800-897-3779.
That's great. Hey, we appreciate you giving this track a rebirth.
Good luck to you, brother. Only word of advice I have, clean bathrooms and good food, and you'll be fine.
New walls, new paint, new plumbing, new doors.
Perfect.
What possessed you to say, Mike, clean restrooms and good food?
It's important.
It's very important. I talked to the promoters from all of the SMI tracks during the Sprint Media Tour,
okay,
and more than half of them told me that clean bathrooms were critical in getting people to come back to your track, primarily because in today's economy, men and women have limited funds. So for a guy to talk a woman into going to the track with him, she has to have a good experience. And we all know that a clean bathroom is critical for women to want to go back to a venue.
Absolutely.
So if you have clean bathrooms, the women will go back, and that will get the men the opportunity to come back. If your bathrooms are nasty, the women aren't going to want to go, and the men aren't going to get to because they don't have the money.
And I'm going to put a suggestion out there for all tracks that are listening, because this is something that I've heard myself, is when a woman goes with small children, she'd like to have a changing table, you know, for the little ones. And a lot of tracks don't have that type of, you know, equipment put in the ladies' room.
I agree.
East Carolina Motor Speedway will have that.
All right. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Wayne Perry, buddy, thank you so much, man. Great talking with you earlier today. Great talking with you tonight. And we've got to go to commercial break and get Josh Richards and Shane Clanton on the show. But looking forward to hopefully having you on here many more times this year and promoting East Carolina Motor Speedway.
Listen, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing everybody come out. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's Wayne Perry. Mike, you there, buddy?
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to get Josh Richards on the line. I accidentally hit the wrong button, and it disconnected us, so I apologize for that. We'll transfer the call to the one that we are, well, I'm trying to add him to the call group. There we go. And joining us on the program, ladies and gentlemen, driver the #1 Rocket Chassis out of Shinston, West Virginia, picking up his 40th career World of Outlaw Late Model Series victory, two-time World of Outlaw Late Model Series champion, and getting back in the Rocket House car is Kid Rocket, or now the Rocket Man, Josh Richards. Josh, welcome to the show, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on here. Thank you very much.
Definitely. And we're going to also get Shane Clanton. I believe he'll be on the show here in just a moment. But, Marcus, Mike, you've got the Rocket Man. Let's holler at him.
Hey, man, glad to have you on the show. Appreciate you being here. I know you tried your hand at the NASCAR thing, and you haven't totally closed that out yet, but how you feeling about going back for a shot at the third World of Outlaw Late Models Championship?
You know, I feel good. You know, I just love to race, and you know, I've always wanted to move on and just more for a challenge than anything is to try the NASCAR thing. And a lot of people think it's, you know, the money or everything else, but it's really just to see if you're able to do it or not. And that's the only way that you can get better is to put yourself in a more difficult situation. And you know, I've been really lucky so far to be able to do what we have, and I feel it feels good to be back.
Well, Josh, tell us, and those listening, that sometimes can be very intimidating.
Hello?
You guys standing by here real quickly. Josh Richards, for you answer that question. We've also got the Coconut in the 25 Capital Race Car entry, Shane Clanton, on the program. But, Josh, answer that question Marcus just had.
Oh.
Josh,
hello?
Everybody, yeah,
yes,
can you answer the question Marcus just asked you? Need to.
Yes, sir. No, it feels really good to be back. You know, I've always wanted to try the NASCAR thing, and you know, you always want to put yourself in a more difficult situation to see if you're able to do it, and that's how you get better. But without a doubt, I mean, I just love to race, and to be able to come back here this year and focus full time is it's really. I mean, it's. I'm really fortunate to be in the situation that I am, and to have the team that we have and the guys that we have behind us is it's really an honor and a privilege. To be able to drive the house car, and it's been a lot of fun so far this year.
And, of course, also joining us, Josh, if you want to say hello, is the driver of the #25 Capital Race Cars entry out of Fayetteville, Georgia, the Coconut, or the Georgia Bulldog, Shane Clanton. And you guys are 1-2 for the championship. And I know Mike laughs and says, well, guys, it's just the first 2 damn races of the year, Wesley. Come on. But, you know, me and Rick Eshelman were talking. He said that's a first to have 2 drivers tied for the championship the first 2 races of the year.
Well, it's good. Both me and Josh was good this past weekend, so it's looking like it's going to be an exciting year.
I'll tell you what, Josh, this question's for you. Did you realize or how was it to realize how hard it was to make it in the NASCAR world than what it is with dirt? Or is there really not that it's not really that hard? It's just a matter of, well, basically hoping to have a ride.
It's tough in anything that you do. I mean, that deal is just, it's really money driven, and it's hard. I mean, we've been trying it's not like we just tried last year. We've been trying for 5 or 6 years.
Absolutely.
And we're still not losing sight of that. We're still working on some things and try to get something together. But to have the team that we have here is, we've worked really hard to get it where it is. I mean, over the years, between myself, my dad, and all the other drivers and crew members, in the last 15, 20 years. So it's taken a lot to get to the point that we're at now. And it's cool to be able to come back and contend to win races and have a shot at the title. And without a doubt, I know it's going to be a tough year. I know Shane's definitely picked his game up, and Lanigan's going to be, I'm sure he's going to be getting a lot better and along with everyone else. So I think it's going to be an exciting year.
Josh, I'm a little bit curious. You know, you were out of the house car last year, and you're deciding to come back and run it this year. There were some other seats open. Was there ever any question about you going back to Rocket or possibly going to drive for somebody else?
No. I mean, it would be dumb to drive anything else. You know, we've worked so hard to get the program that we have, and I don't feel like there's a program out there that's equivalent to what we have, and as far as, you know, resources and everything. So without a doubt, it would be dumb to leave our team. You know, it's just we've worked too hard to build it up.
Absolutely. Now, Josh Richards, you reside out of Shinston, West Virginia, and Shane Clanton out of Fayetteville, Georgia. I know I talked to Shane earlier this morning. He's actually back at home, and he'll be leaving out, I guess, Wednesday or Thursday going to Volusia for the UMP Dirt Car and the World of Outlaw late model events. But before then, he'll go down to Bubba to Ocala for their Army Winter Nationals deal. But Josh, you live up in West Virginia. Did you go back up to Wild and Wonderful State, or are you down in Florida and getting ready to head down to East Bay or Ocala or Volusia? What's your plans for the next couple of days? Racing starts.
I'm actually sitting in the bleachers right now at Ocala, getting into turn one. Yeah, we worked all day today at a car wash and got our car all ready to go again. And we're actually planning on loading one of our other cars and doing some more kit tomorrow for a backup. So. We're going to be working the next couple of days. We're here in Ocala, and just plan to hang out here for a few days and get ready to practice on Thursday.
Absolutely. And
Cool.
Shane Clanton, I know that you live in Fayetteville, Georgia, and it was about a 3-hour drive for you to get down to Screven, Pennsylvania, and then you're just right back at home and you'll rest and prep and rework the car, clean the car, and get it all nice and clean and be ready to go down to Ocala on Thursday.
Well, that is the advantage of being in Georgia this time of the year. There's the advantage of where you're located during the year, and this is one of the opportunities we get to come home and regroup and after a long weekend. So
absolutely,
we're looking forward to working on the cars the next couple of days and being ready to go with Ocala Thursday for what's probably going to be a grueling week there and another week at Volusia.
Mike Neff, I think is it safe to say that we definitely got two popular dirt hot shoes on the show here tonight. Definitely a great privilege to have Rocket Man Josh Richards and the Coconut Shane Clanton, the winner of the Dirt Late Model Dream last year on the program here on And the Winner Is.
Oh, no question about it. And then that was Shane's only win in World of Outlaws last year, so I'm curious. You finished third in points. Lanigan was unconscious last year. Assuming he comes back down to earth and drives like a mortal human being, do you think you've got a legit shot at beating out Richards and Lanigan for the title this year?
And by the way, Lanigan did win at North Florida Speedway last night, but that was a $5,000 to win UMP late model show.
Well, I mean, we definitely worked over the winter to pick our program up. Lanigan showed that you could win a lot of races on World Outlaws if you got all your stuff together. And Josh being absent last year of the most part, I mean, he come back and dominated the 2 races he come back. So it shows that you got to work on your stuff and get it better. We were a new team last year, so to get everything back rolling as good as we are right now, we feel real confident that we can at least compete with them and make them guys go to work a little bit. They made us go to work over the winter, so maybe we can get them working now.
Have you been able to go do any testing or anything, Shane, or are you just taking the notebook from last year and expanded on it?
No, we was able to test after Charlotte last year. We had 3 races there that we went to, and then we went testing 2 times. So it's like I said, it is an advantage to be in the South, so we race longer just because of the weather issues.
Right.
North is cold and gets rainy in the wintertime, and here we can go test and do things that we need to do. But also, I mean, we just got our program better. I mean, like Josh knows, he took him 5 or 6 years to build a program that he has, and his dad's been doing this forever. And for us just to be a new team last year and come out as strong as we are this year, we feel real good what we got going on.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because if someone out there is listening right now and wants to get in for their first year, what is the greatest challenge that you guys had to overcome to have a successful year last year?
Well, it's a lot. I mean, you got to get enough equipment to compete. Josh mentioned just a minute ago, he's probably got one of the best teams, best prepared teams in the sport. So if you're going to go compete with him every week, you got to have just a good equipment or equivalent as much equipment. So to build up that much equipment, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work. And it took us a year to get where we are. So
sure,
we're proud of where we're at right now.
Absolutely, and of course, he's one of the backbones, or is the backbone behind the Capital Race Cars chassis, and it's definitely making a name for itself. Of course, the Georgia Bulldog or the of Shane Clanton has got the Toccoa Bulldog, or the Georgia Bandit of Casey Roberts in the 101. He won the Ultimate Super Late Model Series Championship, which I work with Fast Track last year, the 101 car. You guys have a great relationship. But Josh Richards, I wanted to hit back at you as well. How does it feel to get back behind the Rocket House car? You know, your dad, Mark, and creating this inception with Rocket Chassis, and how difficult was it to have to, move Brandon Sheppard to the side and get you back in the house ride again full time?
It's been a lot of fun. It's we've worked really hard to get things better and to make our program better. And next we know everyone else is catching up too. So it's been a lot of fun. These things are a blast to drive. I mean there's a lot of different types of racing out there. These things are probably one of the funnest things to drive that I've been in over the years, and it's just really cool to be able to come back and to go to a lot of different tracks and go out there and compete. So it's without a doubt it's been cool to come back.
Now, how did Brandon Sheppard take everything? I know he was in the B5 at Screven, and I know he's going to be, what I understand, he's going to be running limited World of Outlaws shows or big shows. You'll see him at Eldora, you'll see him at Knoxville, big events like that, Dirt Track World Championship, what have you. But he's going to also be doing some other racing avenues. Can you speak on his behalf? What his plans are driving the B5 Rocket?
Listen, his plans are, he's here with us racing this whole trip, and his plans are just to race what he can and see how he comes out of Florida. And if he's doing well in the points, then he'll continue the next few races and just kind of go from there. They're just having, it's hard to find help and to be able to go run all the races that we do, and physical help and financially. And so he's just going to go one weekend at a time and go from there and try to race as much as he can. It was really cool to help him out last year, and he's a really great kid, and I feel like he's going to be really good. Once he gets through these learning years, and I think he's going to be racing with us without a doubt for a title. So it was cool to help him out and go from there.
Absolutely. Of course, joining us on the program is the driver of the #1 Rocket House car out of Shinston, West Virginia, the Rocket Man, Kid Rocket, whatever nickname you want to give him. It's Josh Richards, picking up his 40th career World of Outlaw Late Models victory, 2-time champion. And, of course, the car number 25, the winner of the first World of Outlaw Late Model Event of the Year at Winter Freeze out of the state of Georgia, Fayetteville, Georgia. It is the Coconut Shane Clanton, winner of the big Dirt Late Model Dream at Eldora last year. And Mike Neff, what's your questions for two great racing drivers?
I was actually listening to Josh talk about the fact that he's looking for people to work at the track, and I'm like, wouldn't you know, I find a full-time job, and now I find race teams that are looking for people.
That's right.
If you'd have called me last year, I'd have been all over that, brother. But I just wanted you to flash back for a second because I've never heard anybody ask you this question. 2011 World Finals, you're getting ready for that final restart. Did you realize your right rear tire was going down, or did you not realize it until after you got back on the gas?
I don't think it was going down. I think we just ran over something, and it just went out. And I knew you could just feel, even though we were in position to win that championship, I just knew that it just wasn't going to happen. Just the way the whole entire year had been going. We'd always put ourselves in position. It seemed like as soon as we get the points lead, something would happen. To be able to have the year that we did and still win 9 races that year and to come that close, I felt like it was cool to see and be at the end of the year. And I even knew as soon as we took the 2 to go, I drove down in 1 and 2, and I felt something. I felt the tire. We ran over something, and it started to lay down. And I was like, well, I wasn't even. I was mad and upset, and I was, of course, because to have something like that taken away from you. But at the same time, I almost expected, just because the whole year had been going. So just one of those racing things. You can do all you can to try to win and put yourself in position, but if it's not meant to happen, it's just going to. So it's cool to be there and try to win 3 in a row. And now we're try to win one this year and do we can. So it's not easy. I mean, to win the 2 that we did, it takes a lot of everything to fall your way. So if it's not going your way, it's just not going to happen.
Very true. Now for Shane, I'm just curious about your decision to run World of Outlaws. Have you thought about just cherry picking and going for bigger money races, or is there a reason you go World of Outlaws versus Lucas Oil? Why do you choose to run the World of Outlaws series?
Well, I mean, it's geographically and depends on how much you want to run. Lucas Oil runs more 100-lap, 3-day events, and I kind of hate that.
Gotcha.
I'd rather go get money and go to the next track.
Fine.
Like Josh said, I mean, anything can happen in racing, and his whole year was dictated on basically a flat tire. So if your whole weekend is dictated on a flat tire, then you won't make much money during the year. So if you had bad luck one night with the way our deal's set up, you can go to the next night and redeem yourself for the weekend. My car owner has stepped up to the plate and putting on 5 races to pay $20,000 one-day shows, and that's unheard of. But he's wanting to get back to the race cars, the drivers, as much as he can, and hopefully that'll be a big thing. One day, 20,000 win.
Shane, do you see Casey Roberts moving up into the national level anytime soon, dude? It seems like he's definitely picking off championships. He won the Beast Championship last year. He won the Ultimate Super Late Model Series Championship, and even up in the Clash and the Southern All-Stars. It seemed like in all the regional super programs, he was up there where the money was.
Well, he's definitely talking about doing more traveling. Right now, he works every day at a shop there on customers' cars, so it's hard for him to be gone a month at a time like we are. But I don't know. He's going to do some more traveling this year, he told me, and still wants to run for some more series. So it depends on how much money they get for sponsorships now.
Absolutely, definitely.
Shane, I got a question for you. Last year, you started the year off with a pretty nasty crash, and I was just wondering, what did you have to do to mentally prepare yourself to move forward with the rest of the season in order to have the confidence that you now take into 2013?
Well, just hard work. When you crash like that and you got to go back and build more race cars, I mean, you just got to buckle down and stay at the shop more hours. As Josh knows, I mean, it takes a lot of work as it is if you don't crash. So when you crash, it takes a lot of dedication to do what we do and a lot of good help. And last year we had enough help to get us back going and make it to Florida. And then once you get out of Florida, you got time to regroup and build some more equipment or whatever. But it was just hard work getting back on track. I mean, you just got to put your head down and go at it.
And guys, can I just say something? The weather at Screven was just absolutely fantastic, was it not? Because I remember last year it was cold. I mean, you got a little chilly on Saturday night, don't get me wrong, but last year it was 30, 40 mile an hour wind gusts, and it was in the teens, Josh and Shane. I think y'all remember that.
Oh yeah, we always base anytime we're cold, we're like, well, it's not as cold as Screven was last year. So it's, that was definitely, I think it was the coldest I've ever been.
Absolutely. Well, guys, listen, we have got to part ways, but it was just a great having you on tonight. Real quickly, Josh, you go first. Thank out your sponsors, your team, and where you're going to be next. Of course, check them out, guys. We'll tell you where they'll be. They're going to be at Ocala and then on to Volusia for the World of Outlaw in the University of Northwestern Ohio Dirt Car Nationals and the Bubba, Bubba Raceway Park for the Army Winter Nationals at Bubba Raceway Park in Ocala, Florida. And, of course, real quickly, just thank out your sponsors, and we'll get you guys back off to taking care of what you got going on, and I'll be seeing you down at Volusia next weekend.
Oh, good deal. I just want to thank Valvoline, Seaver Cap Ranches, Ernie D Enterprises, Ace Metalworks, Roush Yates Engines, Integra Shocks, Hoosier Tires, Sunoco Race Fuel, my whole crew, and everyone back at the shop for building great race cars. So wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And Shane, go ahead and thank out your sponsors, buddy.
I got Core Engineering, Iron Co, Kennedy Partners, Capital Race Cars, Clement Race Engines, Hoosier Tire, Integra Shocks, VP Race Fuels, and all the associate sponsors that help us get as far as we are. Without them, it'd be hard to do this.
Absolutely, definitely.
Guys, you can't stay tied for much longer now.
Sure they can. They could alternate every race for the entire season and come down to the World Finals and have it come down to the last lap. And maybe both of them will blow right rear tires and they can race around to the flag on a rim.
Well, you didn't let me finish because I was going to say if tied.
That's not fun.
And that's not even funny, guys. I'm telling you right now. Just I wanted to hype up that, because me and Rick Eshelman were talking with the World of Outlaws, and he said that for the first time in a couple of years, coming out of the first race of the year, you've got Clinton and Josh Richards tied for the championship. And it's only the second race of the year, I know, but
I think it's great.
I think it's awesome. Mike just wants to be...
They'll just have to be back.
I think it's great, too. I'm just not getting excited because there's like 50 more races to go. I mean, when September gets here, if they're tied, then we'll start talking.
All right.
Well, it's definitely a long, grueling season. It takes a lot more than just 2 races, but as Josh knows, he's won it before, and we're all gunning for him and Lanigan, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
You guys are off to a roaring start for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, Shane Clinton and Josh Richards, thank you guys so much for being on the show tonight. Continue with your endeavors throughout the 2013 season with the World of Outlaw Late Model Series Tour. And, of course, if you're not doing anything and you're going down into Florida, check them out. Volusia Speedway Park, the Dirt Car Nationals presented by University of Northwestern Ohio. And, of course, also... it will be the Bubba Army Winter Nationals at Ocala. Guys, thank you so much for your time being on with us, and have fun slinging them left and driving hard and getting to victory lane, and we'll have you back on the show sometime this year.
Yep, thanks for having me on here.
Definitely, definitely. Josh Richards and Shane Clinton, 2 great drivers, and I'm telling you what, I think they're definitely going to have a good season coming out of the gate strong.
Yeah, ain't no question. It's I'm curious to see Josh back in that car because I think he's just on a bit of a mission.
Yeah.
To give. I mean, I know he still wants to do the NASCAR thing, and if the money came up right to where they could run that deal, he would probably bail out and go back to the NASCAR side of things. But I know if he's going to run the full season, he's not going to do it half-assed. He is going to be in there. And battling for the title all the way to the end.
Absolutely. And I believe we have on the line now the founder and CEO of Arena Racing USA, Ricky Dennis, and also the voice of Arena Racing USA, one of the craziest announcer guys I know, Mark Potter. And, guys, y'all doing okay this evening?
Yeah, everything's pretty cool down here in Richmond, Virginia.
There we go. So we got Ricky and we've got Mark, but we've got to take care of our sponsors. We will take one commercial break. We'll take care of that, and when we come back, we are going to talk Arena Racing USA. It is awesome. It is exciting, and if you've never heard about it, you're going to definitely get in depth with Mark Potter and Ricky Dennis about it tonight on And the Winner Is. We'll take one quick commercial break. Thank our folks. When we come back, we will have on Ricky and Mark with Arena Racing USA. And this is And the Winner Is Motorsports Show on ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network.
The NASCAR racing experience. The authentic racing experience. Packages start at just $329. Thrilling. Yeah. The rush. The NASCAR racing experience. Call 1-877-RACE-LAP today.
Thursday night's Asphalt Assault paves the way to ETV Live. If you watched Real Sim Racing League's Full Throttle Cup Series on ETV Live last season, you saw some of the best racing ever televised. Hang on to your seat, cowboys. We ain't done yet. Fill your coolers and park your butt. Real Sim Racing League comes to Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. with another great series. Sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV, Asphalt Assault Series features a nationwide car and some of the toughest racing you'll ever see. ETV Live, your online autosports entertainment network. See us at etv-eplay.net.
Hey, this is NASCAR driver Elliott Sadler, and you're listening to And the Winner Is.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the program. It is And the Winner Is Motorsports Show. We've got guys like Brad Keselowski, Elliott Sadler throwing in promos. You're going to hear a lot more of them. Mike Neff, you're awesome, dude. Thank you for getting that done with NASCAR Stars and Cars at the media tour thing this past weekend.
It was fun. It was NASCAR Acceleration Weekend, and there's a lot of people carrying around a lot of die-cast cars. That's all I say. There was people, but there was only one really weird thing I saw somebody having autographed. A guy came through Elliott Sadler's line and had this wooden tablet-looking thing that was about 2 feet tall. He had Elliott sign it, and then he opened it up, and it had little, like, half-inch high wooden stick-on letters, and it was the 10 Commandments. And I was just like, I've seen some weird stuff signed, but that's about the weirdest thing I've ever seen somebody sign. And also, if there's any Truck Series fans out there, Ross Chastain would like to sign a watermelon. He said if any fan comes to one of his appearances and has him sign a watermelon, he will give them free tickets to a race. So if any truck fans out there want some free tickets to a race, check when Ross Chastain is going to be signing somewhere, bring him a watermelon, he'll give you free tickets to a race. Just trying to look out for you.
Heat 1 in the books at East Bay. Scott Bloomquist wins over Hollinsworth, Reddick, Ratliff, and Scott. And then, of course, Heat number 2 just wrapped up. The real deal, Don O'Neill over David Brazil, Coffey, Frank, and Learley. And the Heat 3 is on the racetrack right now. And remember, go to XCN. Oh, they just finished up. Dennis Erb won Heat 3 over Austin Hubbard, Carrier, Whitener, and Moran, top 5. And, again, And the Winner Is Motorsports Show. Going to be at Daytona next week. Mike Neff will be covering it for FrontStretch.com, and I'll be covering all the dirt stuff at East Bay, leaving tomorrow for Florida, and, of course, going to Volusia from there. And now we're going to talk from NASCAR to dirt to drivers that run on the outside. Now we're going to talk about the inside. Arena Racing USA. Ricky Dennis, how did this whole concept come together, and how has it just been so successful as it's been, going on almost 10, 11 years now?
Yeah, it's been of course, the developmental stage for an awful long time, and it appears like it's finally turned into a sport, thank goodness. And it was funny listening to you guys talk about racing from asphalt to dirt. I didn't know where you would go with it. If you go tell them we race on aluminum and see what everybody thought.
Yeah, man. It's an aluminum track.
Aluminum.
Absolutely.
That's it. Asphalt, dirt, aluminum.
And we've got the founder and CEO of Arena Racing USA, Ricky Dennis, on the program, and also the voice of the Arena Racing USA, former announcer of the Motor Racing Network and other great racing organizations, Mark Potter. Mark, man, what's kept you going with Arena Racing? What's it going on, 10 years you've been working for them?
I tell you, it's been quite a while. Ricky actually came up with this idea back in the early 90s, and they were actually racing on a wooden track back then. And I was the first announcer, and I'd left the area in the mid-90s. And when I moved back, Ricky found out I was back, and he said, hey, let's get the old gang back together. And so here I am. Been with them ever since. And arena racing is a lot of fun. I'm not doing any other motorsports now. I'm just doing arena racing, and I have a blast with it.
Absolutely. Ricky, real quickly, talk about what arena racing is.
Well, the shortest way I figured out how to put it is we race half-scale cars on a $500,000 high bank racetrack that barely fits inside a hockey rink. The cars go around the outside of a hockey rink in under 8 seconds flat, side by side, beating, banging, and flipping, racing for the share of $50,000 we pay out during the year.
Absolutely. And I think the best way to describe it is somebody said, Wesley, because I've announced a couple of shows for arena racing before, race cars in a blender.
Race cars in a blender.
Race cars in a blender.
Or more likely a food processor. I mean, it's the coolest thing I saw the very first night they ran at Cricket Arena in Charlotte, which I really wish y'all would get somebody to put some money behind it and come back to Charlotte because we'll miss it. But the track was brand new, didn't have any rubber on it, went out, and it was like a skating rink. And it was, guys were sliding all over, couldn't get traction. And by the time the feature rolled around, Denny Hamlin was in it. Randy Burnett was my guy running in it. I don't remember if Stewart, I think they started Stewart at the back because he had been wrecked out by somebody. If I remember right, Casey Kane and Kyle Busch were there too. But Hamlin and Burnett figured out that you could drive it like a dirt track. And it was the coolest thing because when you go into the corners at the arena track, you almost go up a ramp to get onto the banking. And as they went up the ramp onto the banking, the cars would kind of unload. And Randy and Denny figured out that they could crank the wheel and throw it sideways and dirt track it all the way through the corners and really haul the mail. And the two of them were side by side for 3/4 of the main event before Randy came a little high off the corner and snapped the right front spindle off the thing. But the race was just awesome because they were sliding around. They were almost like they were on ice. But we did that for the 2 years it was in Charlotte, had the greatest time. I don't know if they still run out at Concord anymore. The guys that had the cars were still trying to keep it alive at Concord Motorsports Park to show people there was still interest and hopefully get somebody interested in bringing it back to the arena. But just the fun and the equality of it. I mean, they talk about INEX and Legends Racing and how it's affordable racing and it's equal. It's nothing compared to arena racing. Arena racing is truly affordable. There's no cheating up the cars, and it's all down to driver ability, and it is just awesome to watch.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there, Ricky Dennis. You've got tech men just like NASCAR does, and if they're doing anything illegally, they will get busted and even suspended and fined.
Oh no, we take cheating really serious. You know, we don't allow it. You know, we have a lot of kids starting out racing in this thing too, and we're not about teaching kids they can cheat, that the rules don't apply to them. We take that very serious.
Absolutely. So it started on a wooden track. Now it's on an aluminum track. I think it's a 1/3 mile or a 1/10 mile track that'll fit inside of an arena. And I got to give, if there's anybody tuning in, if you've got an arena in your area, Arena Racing USA is the type of program for you. Am I right, Mark Potter? Because it's like, it's like racing on steroids. I mean, it's not like going to an outdoor racing event, Marcus. There's excitement. The crowd is all around you. It's like I told somebody, because I've announced Arena Racing before, and Mark Potter is the official announcer for them. When I've done those events, I feel like a ringmaster. Am I right, Mark Potter? You feel like a ringmaster at a three-race circuit.
That's a good way to describe it, because it's like when you're at arena racing, you are, as an announcer, you are the ringmaster. It's a circus. It's the atmosphere of a baseball game. It's the atmosphere of a hockey game. It's the atmosphere of a race. You have all of that, and there's so many different things that go into the show. I mean, the race, when you go to a normal weekly racetrack on a Friday or Saturday night, the race car drivers put on the show.
Right.
When you go to arena racing, the race car drivers are a part of the show. And, we do a great job with the pre-race pit party where the folks get to come down just like you would at a monster truck event. You come to a monster truck event, they do that pre-race pit party. Well, that's what we do. You come down, you get to see the cars up close, the drivers are signing autographs, the candy, tires, used tires going out of that place like crazy. And kids just love, we have people just trying to get in the door first so they can get one of the limited tires that we have, to start the race every single week. That's why we open the doors at 6. You pre-race pit party till about 6:45, 6:50.
And then we have the pre-race festivities that start at 7 o'clock. And you nailed it. You are a ringmaster, and you're keeping the show moving. And hey, I'm lucky enough that I work with a lot of great people with arena racing. It makes my job pretty easy.
And Ricky Dennis, if I remember correctly, if you go to arenaracingusa.com, the resume with you simply states you were at a hockey game one night, and all you could think about was not the hockey game, not the people fighting each other on the pucks with ice and putting a puck in the net. You were just looking at the vision of, I can put a racetrack in this facility. Let's do it.
Yeah, I've been enough places. We drove 15 hours to Oxford, Maine one time and got rained out. So, taking the weather out of the situation is pretty cool. We've all sat in the middle of the wintertime wishing there was racing, and so we put it in the wintertime. It was bad outside. And then come along with a couple of little daughters in my life, and I've been going to the racetrack on the weekends all my life. And I said, it'd be kind of fun to go to the river on the weekend. So let's do this thing in the wintertime, and let's take the summers off instead of vice versa.
Absolutely. And everybody, I just want you to know, Arena Racing USA has been in different markets, and it's been successful. In Charlotte, at Cricket Arena, a couple of years ago. It was also successful up in Michigan. In the Michigan program was successful. I just want to throw out there, Ricky, that if people are interested and they want to be a buyer into this program, it's very affordable, and it's economically, and it's awesome entertainment. It's just getting the people that want to take the get it in their market and make it promoted and make it big.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot of potential. As Richmond now is converting over to where more cars from Richmond are racing in the series, and it's always really been designed about creating local heroes in the sport, like my dad was when I was a kid, and getting these drivers back in schools, talking to the kids, and being role models in the community, because all the local heroes in the sport of racing, the world I've been from, all live in Charlotte, North Carolina right now, and they used to be in cities all over the country, but in the fans' minds, they all live in Charlotte. But we do have great race stars all over this country.
Obviously, the economy, Mike Neff, has hit with Arena Racing USA like it's hit anybody else. How have y'all adapted, Mark and Ricky, to keep the program going, keep it surviving? I know you've done some transition phases. I know you moved from Hampton and Norfolk one time. Now you're back at Richmond. Last year it was Richmond and Hampton split. Now it's only Richmond. I guess that will help out with economics and travel and everybody, to save money. What other highs and lows have you had dealing with this economy for Arena Racing, Rick?
Well, the biggest highs and lows we've had was just figuring out the part. The one main part that I never was involved with in the sport of auto racing was the grandstand. We went there to get the trophy. We didn't go there to care about how many people were in the stands. Right. And, trying to figure this thing out in Hampton Roads, we had the track down, the rules down, the cars, the parts, and a lot of stuff figured out. Then we got around to the attendance model part of it, and trying to do that downtown was tough, and I didn't realize how tough it was until we brought it back to my hometown of Richmond, and the Good Old Boy Network kicked in. Just been a lot of people out there, in the local business community here in Richmond that are helping, and that's the biggest part of it, because we never got it where we were really affordable, really profitable in Hampton. We were right there on the edge, but it was really, really tough. But it was hard for me to drive 2 hours to a meeting and drive back home. Where in Richmond, everywhere I go, whether it be the grocery store or the library or school with my kids, I'm running into somebody I can talk to about arena racing, and they all have somebody else they want me to meet. So the attendance has been growing. We've had 3,000 people in there the past couple of races, and it's growing. So we're excited about where we're going with it.
Well, definitely. Ricky, tell us and the listeners out there what it takes to get started in this.
Yes, well, as far as driving a car, everybody asks how they can come race with us. It's just the fact of buying a race car. You can buy a race car for the price of a jet ski. Go out and get sponsors on your car, which some of these teams that have made efforts to have done really, really well. And and they come out there and they sign more autographs in 45 minutes than they ever thought they would sign in their life. They're racing for $10,000 to win a championship. Our championship team last year spent $4,200 racing their car all year long and won $10,000 before any sponsors were going to. So, the model works, especially when you race it in your hometown. So it's really cool to go out and win a race or even get wrecked. Unfortunately, but it might be a $50 part that you got to fix, but when you got a lot of friends and family and neighbors and co-workers and all that come down and shake your hand or give you a hard time, that's a big part of what makes it fun in arena racing. Racing back in downtown.
Yeah, and Mike Neff, we've seen it firsthand at Charlotte. Mark Potter, we've been involved with it being in the middle of the infield. Them cars will flip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You get them in and crank that wheel a little bit too hard, they'll go up on two wheels in a heartbeat and roll right on over. We also had one night they wrecked, came down into the infield of the track and hit the pace car.
Yeah.
And actually bent the axle on the pace car. But like a trooper, Randy just kept on digging and drove that pace car all night long, bouncing down the track with that bent axle. It was hilarious.
And
but I'm curious, from a corporate standpoint, what would what kind of an investment does a company need to make to actually start up an arena racing venture in their hometown?
Dollar-wise, it would take about $1.2 million, to get one cranked up. There's $500,000 just sitting there in a racetrack and in the parts to make the racetrack work to have that on that one part of it.
Right.
So it's a big investment, but when you talk about people that are in other sports that have been through hockey, other leagues, I guess you could call it, the investment is actually a bigger asset that you buy, but it's going to last a long time. But you don't have arena football at $1.6 million player salaries. We don't have that. We don't have big travel budgets and things like that. So we don't have a lot of the expenses, or most of the expenses other stick and ball sports have. And the cool part about it is we're racing, and people love racing. It's really funny to hear people think that you got to do this in North Carolina where racing is popular. But when I ask people which states have the most racetracks in them, they have a hard time believing it's Iowa, Wisconsin, and Michigan, I think, have the most racetracks. So, we've identified 304 arenas just in the United States that we can go race in.
Absolutely. And I'll say you something also. We want to talk about safety. I remember, Mark Potter, we even talked about the night that I was down at Charlotte was the night that Dale Richards, I'm sorry, it was, Tony Stewart. Dale Stewart. Yeah, Tony Stewart's uncle, Dale Stewart, was running that night. He flipped over. The car did catch fire, but, there was safety. There was everybody there. And I'll say this, guys, you protect those drivers marking them cars just like the Weekend Warrior does on the outside world.
Oh, and in race cars. People can still get hurt anyway.
Right. But you do what you have to do, though, in as far as a organization sanctioned body to try to protect these drivers.
Oh, absolutely. I'd say there's a lot of years of experience all around this thing and people involved in this sport that, we've just taken everything that we've learned over many, many, many years and brought it inside and made it compact, made things close. You never race more than 12 feet from the wall. You're never more than 50 feet from a fire extinguisher, or other people that are right there, the EMTs and firemen right there within 4 feet of the racetrack. So, it makes a lot of pieces a lot better. And, if you hit the wall really hard, you hit it with 740 pounds at a glancing blow. It's not a 3,600-pound hit on fresh.
Right. Absolutely. Mark Potter, I know me and you have known each other for a couple of years now, and I know one of the biggest things you used to tell me was a treat was on 4th of July weekend. There used to be an event in Norfolk, Virginia, where they had the outside arena racing cars. Talk about how exciting that was because, by the way, not only can you run these cars indoor, they're preferably free inside at the arena, you can also run them on the outside.
Well, you do have some folks that take the cars outside. I think there's some organizations that try and give the drivers an outlet to run them on the weekends in the summertime, so that they're not just sitting there. With that being said, back years ago there was an outdoor event there in Norfolk on the waterfront. I did it 1 year. I think Ricky had it. I think a couple of years that he did the event, and it wasn't so much a race as it was a show for the fans to get to know arena racing and the fact that, these cars compete inside. And they get to see them race on the road, so to them it's a real race car. If they've never seen that before, to you hear arena racing, you're not thinking, oh, well, it's a real race car.
Right.
But once you see them and you see that the fact that on an outdoor circuit, say, for instance, you could take them, you could put them and run them at Southern National Speedway and put the right gearing in, those cars will go over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's one of those things that, these are real race cars. These aren't, these aren't go-karts. These are bigger than go-karts. They're half-scale cars with full roll cages on them, 5-point safety harnesses. The drivers wear Hans devices. They've got the gravity headrests in the cars. These things are pulling G's. They're doing 55 miles an hour heading into the corner here on a 10th mile, I call it the 10th mile ring of fire. Right. These guys are getting it. They're racing side by side, inches apart. And in fact, our top dog race, the final race of the night the other night, Tyler Hughes and Scott Prilliman, they were side by side for the last, I think, 5 or 6 laps, and the race was decided by not even the length of a fender. It was that close, and they raced side by side, and the crowd was going nuts. When people think arena racing, they instantly think it's going to be loud, there's going to be fumes, and there's not. Yeah, sure. If you want to put earphones and your little earplugs in, that's fine. But you don't need them.
Right.
And on top of that, the fumes aren't there.
Yeah. No, there's no fumes whatsoever, and I can assure you, if you're in the grandstand area, it's not loud. It's loud if you're standing down in the infield amongst all the noise. That's where all the officials and the announcers and everybody are at. But I'll tell you what, it's a professionally run show, Marcus Morgan. They have timing and scoring. They come in, they do open practice sessions, they do qualifying, they do the qualifying, locks you in for your heat races, and then, of course, they have the event called the Top Dog, the 50-lap Top Dog, and I love the atmosphere, Mark and Ricky, the way you do it. You have, it's like I tell somebody, driver introductions to me was a totally different light when I saw it with arena racing, because when you're outside, you don't have the way that you can have the spotlights go out.
Different. These are superstars.
Yeah, rock star. Exactly.
They're superstars, and they're what makes this sport. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're following the World of Outlaws or whether you're following NASCAR. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the drivers, and we've got some great characters. There's this one kid. He's a kid. If I have a second, his name's Little Timmy Tyrell. This is a kid that started an organization, minimission.com, and he's raising money and racing with us. He's raising money for cancer. These are characters. These are great kids. These are great adults, and they are what make this sport what it is. If you haven't been out, you need to get out here and check it out.
Definitely. ArenaRacingUSA.com is the website. In this weekend doubleheader, they'll be racing on Friday night and Saturday night. They'll get started at, I believe, 7 o'clock on Friday evening, and, of course, on Saturday it will be the 7:30 they start Friday night. It'll be 7 o'clock start time on Saturday. So, of course, go to ArenaRacingUSA.com. Check them out. And Ricky Dennis, thank you so much, buddy, for being on the program, as well as Mark Potter. And definitely, we need to have you guys on again. And whenever the champion gets crowned for Arena Racing USA, we need to have them on the show also.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Love to do it. We appreciate the opportunity to get on here with you.
Definitely. ArenaRacingUSA.com. Check them out. There's a lot more we could talk about. Marcus, maybe we can have another segment where we could have them on maybe for an hour, maybe on off weekend racing or something like that. So
I think we should get one of their drivers on to talk about how they got into the series.
Absolutely.
Maybe we could have an arena racing sim race.
Absolutely. What? Shut up, Mike. Come
on now,
Mark. Let's do this next Monday night. When I get back from Florida, send me the information. Whoever wins the doubleheaders, we'll get them on the show next Monday night.
All right, we'll do it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Ricky Dennis. And, again, continued success with Arena Racing USA.
Thanks so much. Y'all, too.
Definitely. That's Ricky Dennis as well as Mark Potter with Arena Racing USA. And, man, we got about 1 minute left to go to get off the air. Daytona, Sprint Unlimited, on Fox, start of the NASCAR season. Going to Florida tomorrow, East Bay bound. And Mike, real quickly, where are you heading?
Gonna go down, doing the Daytona thing, Battle at the Beach, ARCA race, Sprint Unlimited, qualifying for the 500, Volusia, back home.
Absolutely, absolutely. Marcus, real quickly, 30 seconds.
looking forward to racing season getting underway.
Absolutely, and of course, And the Winner Is Motorsports show will be at the dirt side of things and the NASCAR side of things, as well as the Daytona Battle of the Beach. So many great things going on. Racing season is finally officially here for everybody if you love NASCAR. We'll talk about that and much more next week. For Marcus Morgan, Mike Neff, I'm Wesley Outland. Good night, God bless. This has been And the Winner Is on ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network.